Let me ask you, when you hear the word stress, what's your gut reaction? If you're like most people, it's probably something negative. We've been told for decades that stress is toxic, a silent killer lurking behind every late night and tight deadline. But what if that's not the whole story? In 1998, researchers found something shocking. People who believed stress was harmful had a 43% higher risk of dying, but only if they believed it was toxic. People with high stress, but a belief that stress wasn't harmful, had the lowest mortality risk, lower even, than people who reported very little stress. Now you might be thinking, is this just wishful thinking? Surely stress can't simply be a matter of attitude. But consider this. Researchers controlled for everything from income to chronic illness. And the pattern held, it's not just about what happens to you, but how you interpret it. This is what psychologists call a mindset effect. Like the well-known placebo effect, your core beliefs about aging, trust, stress, influence longevity, and health behaviors. Think about it. People with a positive view of aging live up to 7.6 years longer. Your mind isn't just along for the ride, it's driving. So, what if the next time you feel your heart racing before a big meeting, you see it not as danger, but as your body energizing you for what matters? The story you tell yourself about stress could be the first and most important step to thriving, not just surviving. How do we actually start shifting our mindset about stress? Let me tell you a story from the world of research. At a Fortune 500 company, employees were split into two groups. One got the classic stress is harmful training, the other learned about the upsides of stress. The result? Those who learned to see stress as enhancing reported less anxiety, better health, more engagement at work, even weeks later, and the intervention took only 2 hours. This is the power of a stress is enhancing mindset. It's not magic. It's about activating the brain's neuroplasticity, its ability to rewire itself based on new beliefs. Now, picture yourself at your desk, overwhelmed by emails. Instead of thinking, I can't handle this, what if you said, this is challenging because I care, and that energy is fuel I can use? When you welcome stress as a sign you're invested, your body's stress response actually shifts. Research shows it releases more DHEA, a neurosteroid that helps your brain grow, raising your growth index instead of just pumping out cortisol. You might wonder, is this just reframing? Will ignoring the real downsides of stress make us reckless? Absolutely not. It's about flexibility, choosing to see both sides, but focusing on the side that fuels your purpose. So next time you're tempted to escape your stress, try this 3-step process. Acknowledge the stress, connect it to what matters to you, and use that energy for action. That's not denial, it's transformation. And it starts in your mind. All right, let's get concrete. How can you apply this mindset in real life, starting today? First, practice what I call mindset mindfulness. Notice your self-talk when stress hits. Do you say, this is too much? Or do you pause and think, this means I care? Try this. The next time you feel overwhelmed, stop and ask yourself, what value or goal is at stake right now? This might sound like cognitive reappraisal, a term for deliberately shifting your interpretation of stressful events. It's a tool elite athletes and Navy SEALs use to perform under pressure. Now you might be skeptical. Can a mindset shift really help with big league stress, illness, loss, trauma? Research says yes. People who adopted a more positive stress mindset coped better with everything from job loss to cancer treatment. They built resilience, the psychological equivalent of muscle memory, by facing, not fleeing difficulty. Let me share a tip I give my students. When stress strikes, reach out instead of shutting down. Social connection is an underappreciated resilience factor. In psychology, this is called tend and befriend. Not just fight or flight. Use stress as a bridge, not a wall. So, what's your next step? Start small. Notice your stress, connect it to your purpose, and act with courage. The upside of stress isn't just theory, it's a skill. And with practice, it will change not just your narrative, but your life.